chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You can hear some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Good evening, Cayman. If you are with me, just let me know. Hi, everyone. It's good to be back with you. Please give me a thumbs up. That's just my luck. Hi, happy Friday, everybody. It's good to be back with you right here for another episode of Sabrina Speaks. To all of my people here, it is Friday. Oh my God, what a week. I think it's everything that's going on. It's very heated parliament, but I'm here with you. I'm here with you. I was just making sure that I got all of the latest things that are happening. Yeah. And whatever happened there for a second, I don't know. Yeah. So if you're hearing me, just give me a thumbs up, please. Please. And here we are for another episode of Sabrina Speaks. It is a pleasure to be here with you on this wind down Friday, giving you a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I will do my best here to just cover a number of topics this evening. And we're conversations for the world and the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration takes stage. It is a pleasure to be here with you. Hope you're all having a good Friday. And at least I'm hoping you're keeping dry. Please take extra caution on the roads with all the rain we've been having since last night and into this afternoon. And, it's good to be back here. But as I said, let me tell you that we're going to do just a little bit of spin today because of everything that's happening on the floor of Parliament. We'll look at some headlines, give you some quick reminders as to what's happening. But let me tell you a little something. And guess what? Rain or shine, the deals are still on at International Lighting, just for the record. Their clearance sale is still on, and they're open until 7 tonight. And that's 194 Eds Plaza, North Sound Road. And trust me, the savings are worth braving the raindrops. There's so much items that Edward and his crew has on sale. Too much to mention, from lighting fixtures to home decor and everything in between. So if you've been waiting for the right time to upgrade your space, this is it. And here's the kicker. Remember this. Spend $50 or more, and you'll be entered into winning a round trip Cayman Airways ticket to any destination that they fly. Yes, that's any destination. So grab your umbrella, grab your crew, and head down there. You got pretty much another hour and a half, maybe, to go down, or you can check them tomorrow from 9 a.m. in the morning. And the bargains are unbelievable. They're unbelievable. So yes, that's International Lighting. Big clearance sale continues. No rain's going to stop them. You're still going there and you can get all of your deals. 194 Eds Plaza, North Sound Road. And shop big, win bigger, and rain can't stop the sale. So the content you're about to hear, including any discussions or opinions from myself, guests, and or participants, is intended solely for general informational and entertainment purposes. It's not a substitute for professional legal, medical, or financial advice. So I encourage you to consult with a qualified professional for your specific concerns. Sabrina Speaks disclaims all liability for any decisions or actions taken in reliance on the information presented here. And like I said, hey, hello weekend. Yes. Woohoo. It's Friday. I like to do crap like that. Just to bring it in and to be here with you. And just a gentle reminder, we got all of these things that are happening over the weekend, and you got to keep it locked to all of the local media stations. And I'm posting up here why, because it's important. And tomorrow there's a huge fair out in East End at the East End United Church, thanks to the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens, from 9 o'clock until noon. Huge fair out there in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And on Sunday, the 19th, is Sunday is a spa day. Yes, it's a spa day from 10 until 5. So there we go. It is lots of things going on, and we should be excited about that. Spa day. Who doesn't love a spa day? And then Friday next week, dress down pink day. I'd like to see what people like Alfred would wear on the 24th. Yeah. Real men wear pink. Let's challenge them. When you're talking about, we want them to come out in a real nice pink as we celebrate and honor breast cancer awareness. I wonder how much men would share with us that they're wearing pink. I'm going to put the challenge out there, definitely. Let's see who will be bold and brave to show up for pink. And of course, t-shirts are available. You can go into the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens and you can purchase a t-shirt if you want to get away with it, or if you have your own pink. But we want you to go ahead anyhow and support them and go in and purchase a t-shirt, because every dollar spent is aiding in their whole mission in saving someone's lives, helping maybe to fund with a prosthesis, vouchers, that sort of stuff. So we want you to go and support them. But just in case they don't have your size, I would love to see you in pink. Yep. And delicious beverage. I did mine this week. I only did one, but I'll be getting another one because I'm planning to brave the road tomorrow. And I'm definitely going to go down there to Cafe del Sol and get me another one, because every time it's delicious, it's healthy. Why not? Every time you purchase one of these beverages down at Cafe del Sol, a contribution of proceeds actually of $1 go to the Breast Cancer Foundation. Yes, it's a strawberry matcha frappuccino. It's a frappe. And it is definitely taste a blend, share the strength. Each cup is $1 donated to the Breast Cancer Foundation Cayman Islands. And like I said, I enjoyed mine. I was out and about this week before all the rains came down and all the frogs came out. I was out in broad day, though. Broad day. I was out and I enjoyed it. And I wouldn't actually tell you that I didn't enjoy it if I didn't, just because. I am going to be very honest with you. It was very refreshing. And I encourage you to go down and just pop one. It's the weekend. Why not treat yourself to one of these beverages? There you have it. But yes, and What else is happening? Let me see, because I do have images here, Walk for the Cure. Remember yesterday I told you guys about this upcoming event, Walk for the Cure. And here we go. Here we go. Let me put it up here just for a gentle reminder, because I know a lot of you probably went to the Clifton Hunter graduation. But Walk for the Cure, there's going to be a sign-up table tomorrow. And this is going to take place at the main branch of CIBC from 9 until 1. This is an aid of you being able to register, because the registration deadline is fast approaching, and that's going to be on Friday, October 31st, Halloween. So adults, $25, children under 12, $10. So tomorrow there's going to be a table, and I'm sure I will be shared with information should our weather continues to decline, or if any changes happens, I'll make you know, and definitely go up on their website and their pages, and they'll tell you more as well. Yeah. So remember now, this event is going to be taking place on the Sunday. That's the 2nd. And we want you all to go down and register if you want to participate in this, because the deadline is 31st of October at 3 p.m. T-shirts will be collected on Wednesday, October 29th to Saturday, November 1st until 1 p.m. at the main branch. That's at CIBC. And it's Walk for the Cure. Let's go out there and do our part in this. I'm looking forward to it. Yes, I am. I'm going to actually, for once, get out of bed on a Sunday and not only get out for a brunch, I'm going to get out to go and do a walk. So, yeah, I'm going to challenge myself to crawl out of bed, not for brunch, but for a walk because of the cause. And of course, you're investing in your health. So $25 for adults and $10 for children. Yeah, so let's go down there. You'll see Shadden. I'm sure Shadden was presented here. Give her a hug. Yeah, give her a hug and let her know we love her. So yeah, let's see who's here. Darlene, how are you? Happy Friday to you, my sweet Marshall. Good evening to you, all the way up there, up north. Jasara, good evening to you, my love. Happy Friday. Sonia, good evening. Hey, Shaq. Oh my God. If I wasn't being streamed all over the world, I would shed a tear. Good evening. Sorry of being so quiet. I've very been present and listening. I've just joined a bit late since the past week. Shaq, you were missed. But Shaka Zulu kept your memories alive. Because every time Shaka Zulu actually commented, I remember Shaq. I was told by a friend that the teacher who failed me for drama, they need to be fired. But Shaq, it's good to have you back with us. Hi, Connie. You were missed, but it's good that you found your way back home, my love. Connie Bonnie, how are you? Yes, we try. We try here, my sweet. We try to be a kinder, gentler space as we aid in our contribution to this virtual space of getting to know and learn everybody. But yeah, it is good to be back. But Shaq, good to have you here, man. Honestly, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Now, you see what's going on in the world, and it's no difference what's happening here. And like I told you today, it's Friday. I just wasn't going to go into those hard-hitting stuff. Parliament is in its third day. The strategic policy statement, which I'll dabble into a little bit of that, or maybe just get that out of the way now because it's still ongoing. It is in their third day. And, oh, you're just leaving, Connie. Thank you for just listening to us. Yeah, Iva, you're late, but that's okay. We give you a break because if you're coming from somewhere, then you got to take caution on the road. And we want you all to take your time. Honestly, we want you to take your time. We want you to take your time. But yeah, Parliament is still in session. And this is their third day. And they're deliberating or actually debating on the floor of Parliament the strategic policy statement. And this gives the opportunity to the opposition to debate their findings and of it, and to critique, ask questions of the sitting government, exactly what's going on. Yeah, Jasara, you're right. Boy, Kenneth, I heard as I was coming up to the studio, Kenneth. Now, I love the fact that you guys, I'm getting that you all are tuning in. Thank God you are. And yeah, it is one of those things where you plant the seed and then you guys go and watch it for yourself. And then I'm hopeful that at the end of the day, that all of what I've been sharing with different terminologies and that sort of stuff will make sense. So it's easier for you to understand. Like I told you, everything that I've been doing so far will make sense at the end of the day. And if something pops out at you that you're just not even too sure about, then you're free to go back to an earlier podcast maybe, and it should all make sense. But that is the whole idea of why we choose certain topics and that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's interesting where we're going to be going. So I'm happy that I'm seeing some of you. Jasara is tuned in, obviously, for you to actually make that statement. But yes, and thank you for this gentle reminder. It is Older Persons Month. And there are a number of activities as well that is going on. And today being the 16th, October 16th to the 27th. Today's the 17th. So tomorrow from 6 to 8 is the Seniors Talent Show at the Aston Ruddy Civic Center in Cayman Brac. And also there's the big gala that's taking place at the Kimpton Seafire. Yeah. Now I've attended 2 of those. That's the gala at the Kimpton Seafire is from 6 to 10. I've attended 2 of those, and OMG, when those seniors take the dance floor, it is a different level. It is a different level, but it warms my heart to see where I am now. And one day, God spares my life, I could be a very healthy, vibrant senior kicking up my heels still, whether the knees were replaced or not. But that's the whole idea. And then on the 20th of October, there's going to also be another talent show, this time in Grand Cayman at the Harkwell Theatre from 6 to 8. So lots of things going on this weekend. Our seniors is not left out. That's going to be at 6 to 8 at the Harkwell. And that is Sunday. And then the 21st, Wisdom and Wellness session at the Public Library. Also, they're going to have a radio information session for seniors on Radio Cayman. And wow, from 6:30 to 8:30 on the 22nd is karaoke at the Lions Center. OMG, but registration only. So you got to make sure that you get more information on this. Lots of things happening. Wow. Yep. Lots of things happening. Thank you for sharing that. I'll definitely post it on my page. Thank you so much. Why are you just getting it to me? But I'll definitely post it up there for you. Keeping it real with some of the headlines that you saw on on what you see on Facebook. And this one is going to be a little bit difficult for me to have because I don't have context. I've just seen a video in circulation on Marl Road that shows a roadside altercation between a man and a woman, and it appears to be a domestic situation. I don't know. Like I said, there is no context. But what's striking isn't just a violence. It's almost a silence. Because in the video, I'm observing bystanders standing literally right there, phones in hand and recording, very little intervention. Yeah. I'm not blaming the bystanders, but I mean, that lady could have possibly gotten run over. This isn't about blame in this case. It's about reckoning. Where are we pretty much as humans going when you look at that? Are we more inclined now to capture it than to possibly capture a death? it could have, or to step in? Are we just simply afraid, or is it I'm minding my own business on a different level, but yet you're capturing it on video? That really shook me because I'm seeing this happening all over the place. We're getting all of these images, and now you got to really look closer at even AI. But this one, even dumbfounded. When you look at our reality here in Cayman, though, this one may have made it in a public stage, being captured on video, now placed in circulation. According to the Cayman Islands Crisis Center, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have experienced some sort of physical abuse by a partner in their lifetime. Now, when you look at that, and those are numbers, but that's not just a stat. When you look at it, it's our neighbor or coworker or friend, a mother, a sister, an aunt, a brother, a father, an uncle, a nephew, because it's both genders here. And also the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service in 2024, and I'm quite sure we have more current data, but what I was able to get based on just trying to give you a heads up on this incident, the crime report shows a troubling rise since 2024 in domestic related incidents with, protection orders breached. Yeah, breaching protection orders. So where does that put the vulnerability of the victims? And we're not going gender in this case. Where does that put the vulnerability, the protection of those victims? It's proven that protection orders breach, violent tendencies are continuing to escalate. But these are not isolated cases. They are actually forming a pattern. And here we are seeing this in broad daylight. But again, it doesn't matter the time of the day. We captured this one. What's the next part? Because even from a global perspective, nearly 1 in 3 women have experienced physical or sexual violence, most often by an intimate partner. And now we're looking from a global standpoint in 2025, millions of cases went unreported because of fear, shame, societal silence, and powerful barriers. So when we look at it in a broader context, this is not just a Cayman issue, it's a human issue. And it's sad because thank God the lady was not ran over, but still, what played out is troubling. And then you say, well, I was reading some of the comments, why film? Stop filming, just help. Is it you're frozen because you're in shock? Why do we film instead of help? It appears that what image we caught or that is on our platform is from someone who's inside a building because of the overview, but then there are other images out there. But when we look at the bystander effect, we'll call that, research is now showing that more people actually are present, but they're less likely to intervene. And, that's why it's called the bystander effect. And when you look into domestic violence situation, this is compounded by fear, by just fear of retaliation. And in a small island state like this, people are like, what are the chances of the gentleman then coming after me because I bear as witness to this? What about what's happening and the lack of training on how to safely intervene? And this is something that we can look at more from a broader stance, but silence can be deadly, and filming isn't helping, even though it could be critical footage for evidence. Yeah, so it is quite interesting, and where we're going and the bystander effect. But what can we do then, you may ask? I just go drive across and they'll have to sort it out. Maybe it's a case where she'll be back there tonight. They'll kiss and make up. Doesn't make it right though. Doesn't matter. It really does not matter. Neutrality doesn't mean that passively. Can we safely intervene? Call 911? And then the delay time as it continues to unfold, what do you do? Offering support after the fact, maybe. And, here we go again, the crisis center is there. But when you're talking about all of the things in its totality, what do you do in a case like this if you were to drive up on an altercation like that in the pretty much in the middle of a road? And do you pull out your cameras or you try to help? What if you recognize the individual or individuals? Are you then more inclined to go and intervene, or are you even more inclined then to say, I'm going to exit stage left because they have been dealing with this for years, they'll sort it out? Does it make it right? At what point do you, that line says, drink water and mind your own business? Yeah. But we must kind of, no matter how hard it is, we must kind of shift from spectators to protectors. And I feel that's where we need to go for a more gentler world, as Connie so nicely says, for every show almost. Yeah. So it is a wake-up call, to be honest. And let me see some of the comments here. Did they see the security cameras? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. Well, for what I could pick up in what was captured, there was some rage there. I can hear remorse in the cries of the screams of the lady. And but I saw rage. I saw rage coming from the male. Auntie, sometimes you cannot risk your life for people. You can end up getting attacked. I know, or God forbid, losing your own life. And we have seen innocent persons willing to actually intervene and help. And sometimes they become the victims themselves. So, yeah, I get it. I get it. Connie, trust me, I get it. I do. But it is heart-wrenching when you see stuff like that. And the way in which we're going as a world, it's almost as though you're on your own until frontline people come, the ambulance, the police. But yeah, it's very interesting where we're going. But we're gonna have just in for a couple of seconds, and I see my guest, who's no stranger here now, pretty much 2 weeks back to back, because I want to keep you abreast as to what's happening with our youth and give a recap as well as to what's happening. But it will not be a very long interview. It's just keeping you in the know. And let me get some images here so it'll all make sense as we speak. But I want to keep the spotlight on our youth because they are our future. Opportunities given to our Caymanian young men and women, and making international headlines, making the stage is paramount. And we can't give up on them. We got to do what we got to do. And any moment we can get to showcase them, I am more than happy to do so. And kudos to all of the mentors who are actually making a change and being part of their lives. And I'm pleased too for this a couple minutes to welcome Mr. Miles. Mr. Miles, can you put on your camera? Jamo is going to be joining me. Mr. Miles.
But I'll put on my camera afterwards. Cause now you see the roof of my car because I got it on speaker.
Oh, okay. Well, right now we're seeing a dot.
Okay.
Pull off if you're driving. We don't want to be no witness to any foolishness here today. How are you, my dear? Happy Friday.
I'm doing okay. I'm almost to where I need to be. So once I get there and settle, I'll turn my
camera on. Okay, well, thank you for joining us. And I know people will understand it when we start speaking. But this week, Caymanian Pride is definitely sizzling on the global stage. And for those of you who weren't aware or may have seen earlier episodes of me just putting the spotlight on this young man, the World Food Champions Junior Chefs competition kicks off in Indiana, and the stage becomes very hot tomorrow. And our very own Santos Flores is ready to bring the heat. Yes, because he's not just cooking. He is representing every young man and woman of our own Caymanians to follow their dreams and skills and fire and everything. Thank God for corporate sponsors, persons and mentors like Jamo. It's just not about food. It's about their future. So I gave Mr. Jamo the opportunity to come on with us to tell us more about this Cayman Youth Culinary Program and to also highlight this Mr. Flores and what's next for him. So go ahead, Jamo.
Okay, well, the National Youth Culinary Program is for youth aged 10 to 17. It's the high school age. It's a farm system towards tertiary studies or the workforce, the food and hospitality industries. It is our way of trying to ensure that Caymanians are part of it and that they are part of this tourism product that has made the product successful. It is because Caymanians are in it, it is successful. And for us to remain successful and competitive, we need young Caymanians to take over the helm where older Caymanians are now into their sunset years. And we need to keep this Caymanian component of our tourism product alive and well. And these young culinarians are doing us proud by setting their mark on the world from early. And Santos is one of the little chefs that says this is what he wants to do for a living.
And there he
Hence,
is. Look,
he
we got a picture of
yes.
him up here. Yeah, that's
So
him.
he's had a desire for a few years, and now that he was at age to join the culinary program, we got him involved, and he did his first year of master classes at the Ritz was this year. It was a momentous effort because he lives in the Brac, which means it was at least 18 trips from Cayman Brac to Grand Cayman every weekend for 18 weekends. He was joined by Samaya Rich, who is also from the Brac.
Right.
And here is where I want to thank the then Minister of Tourism, Kenneth Bryan, for his investment, and the then Minister of Education, Miss Juliana O'Connor Conley, for making it happen for them. Because you can just imagine, I went to Cayman Airways and asked them if they would sponsor this, and they're like, they are way too much. That could have be a ministry decision. So thank God that they saw it valuable for that to happen. Not knowing that Cayman would be invited to the National Food Championships this year.
And
I
this
didn't
is
put
the
it
first
together.
time in history for this one, right? For
First
this
time.
invite.
First time that been invited. And it's because we've been doing so well at the World Junior Barbecue League that they said, oh yeah, we know these youngsters can bring it. Let's give them opportunity. So when we got this invite, I said, okay, we
Mm-hmm.
are very best.
Right.
And the very passionate that would come back and share her knowledge on going forward. But
Right.
I'm
Right.
confident Santos is going to do us proud, and he's going to do extremely well tomorrow. And if all stands to where it ought to be, he will
Right.
actually be taking on the young lady who is almost she was the grand champion.
And I think your internet connection is going a little wonky.
Yeah.
You're a little wonky. Jamo.
Let's see if I can fix this.
Oh, better now. Better. There you are.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Comfortable and quiet right
And so,
now.
yeah, it's bad signal on Jamo. Yep.
She'll be taking on the mastership champion.
I don't know if you want to go out
He
of the
actually
studio,
picked her to.
Jamo. I want you to go out of this, come out and come back in. I'll let you back in because I think whatever you were on and you switched over now that you're inside, it's messing up with your signal.
Okay.
So go out and come back. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to put the spotlight on this young man. And Jamo attended Clifton Hunter graduation last night as well. And he gave an award as well. So we'll get an update on that award. And, you know, Jamo has been working with our youths for so many years, but these just doesn't happen with our young people. Cayman is on the map again. And this time it's all about the culinary arts and skills and giving our young men and women the opportunity. This young man is just not cooking. He's representing every Caymanian youth with a dream. And we know the importance of corporate sponsorship. And that is why it's key for us to assist and support these and giving them the opportunity. Let's go, Mr. Jamo. Welcome back. Jamo?
Yep. I'm
It's
trying to
Friday.
that you can see me.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Much better, much, much better.
Well, Sabrina, I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to highlight our young people, especially our young aspiring culinarians, who is doing us extremely proud. Last night I got to attend the graduation at Clifton Hunter, where I got to present the Bob Zappacosta Cup, uh, a well-deserved chef jacket, and the second place certificate to Luan Cowan, who was the captain of the Cayman select team that placed second in the world for barbecue pork ribs.
Wow. In the world.
Number 2 in the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, well, that must have been such a proud moment for you, understanding how much you give to the children and the youth. And here we are, internationally recognized. And you can see the age difference even with Santos now. You look at this young man graduating from school, and we have those up and coming others behind.
Yes. And we chose Santos to represent us this year because of how he performed during the tranche at the Ritz. Those classes at the Ritz, him and Samaya and Luan were among the top all the time. They had to do quizzes at the end of each session as well. So we test the knowledge that they have received and to see if it's stuck. And they really did well. But out of all of them, Santos is the one that wants to be a chef. Samaya has her ideas around doing events. She is actually looking to form a foundation in Cayman called Maya's Foundation, where they do a lot of youth activities, wholesome youth activities in Cayman. She's actually planning a haunted house that she did last year for the
Yeah,
first.
that's a huge hit.
Yeah, she's doing it again, and the funds raised from it would go towards airlift for young people in the program to so it's like it turned in it they're empowering themselves to be here rather than saying, okay, we got to constantly ask the government to sponsor airlift. We're doing something about it, and I might have to hop over on next weekend, not next weekend, the 31st, the weekend of the 1st and 31st,
Yeah.
to lend support to make sure that
Aw.
all the food that they got sell and stuff will be ready to actually. I'll ask Luan to come with me because he's now graduated and I've got no school commitments. He might be able to come on the weekend and me, and we can feed Cayman Bright. Maybe if they want some pork ribs, we'll give it to them. We'll definitely do hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff for all the patrons of the haunted house. And the funds raised from that. And I want to thank those that we have reached out to get sponsors that indicated that they would sponsor. So Minister Nicholas Da Costa thank you very much for your sponsorship. Home Gas, thank you very much for your sponsorship. So Home Gas is doing the food. Nicholas DaCosta is doing the decorations, and as we have reached out to other sponsors as well. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we're hoping that they get all of the items sponsored so they can maximize the profit and return. I
Mm-hmm.
think they said the admission is $15 per person, and when the Friday night is primarily for families, they
Mm-hmm.
want to target families on that night. So they'll have family packages, I guess, and we'll try to do family package meals as well. So it'd be like two burgers and two hot dogs or whatever, like for parents and children, that kind of stuff, and
Nice.
do packages. And
Well, you can't say things not happening in the Brock.
well, I think that's the aim behind Maya's foundation, uh,
Right.
because she said that all of her life in Cayman Brack, they always struggled for wholesome entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So she wants to do something about that. And
Nice.
so we're here to help, and at the same time, she's learning valuable skills on how to put on events, how to get proper feedback, and how to make things better. So she'll get a taste of that from us this year, God willing. I wasn't there last year, but I
Mm-hmm.
heard it was still a hit.
Huge.
I see people looking ribs and I listen, man. Yeah, how come came back? I hope you're in the
I deliberately did that because and while Connie troublemaker, while Connie put that up there, and you were hearing about fundraisers and sponsorship and all that sort of stuff. One of the ideas that popped into my mind was whether or not you guys could consider maybe one in the Brack and one here in Grand, where they do like a Saturday cookout and you do a big launch and you sell plates. You know, like how you do it for persons who need assistance, like a GoFundMe. You do this, and then you will see them actually preparing the food themselves, and you can buy a plate. And if people don't, let's say you plate something just off the cuff, $10 for whatever, and people want to do 25, you still go with, you have a baseline for whatever meats you're doing. And then if people want to give more, then they can.
Yeah.
I know it
You
sounds
pro-
good, ideas
no,
to help, but
you probably see some sign of melancholy on my faces because my late brother John had an
uh-huh.
idea called a Reckley, where Caymanians would come together and raise funds in that manner.
Oh, wow.
And so I've seen the concept, and it would I think
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. It just popped into my mind when I saw Connie, but I
and
need ribs. And I'm like, I'm
it's called
hearing
a
all the
Reckley. He had to call a Reckley. And it's
okay.
a very endearing term for Caymanians so that
Yeah.
to get to there at some point in time, right? So I think in honor of my brother, I will do something like that.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
I'll name it a Reckley because he called it a Reckley.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
Mm-hmm.
do it as a
See?
fundraiser, and we'll fundraise for whatever cause it is. And uh,
Yeah. Oh,
and we'll
wow.
fundraise for the cause of the culinary program as well.
Exactly. Look, see, Connie definitely says she'll support it, and with enough promos. I be honest with you, be it corporate sponsorship, and we're going to thanks all to everyone. I'm going to allow you to call it all the corporate persons,
Right.
including our governments. But this is an opportunity too for persons. It doesn't necessarily always have to be, which we would prefer because you're trying to get this grill for inclusion for the Lighthouse students.
I actually
But
had a conversation with them today, and they're down for it.
nice.
They want to see if they can Miss Colleen Hulston would actually be their coach. Um,
Okay.
they'll be looking for their participants to send them the World Junior Barbecue League registration forms, which need to be notarized, and that is fed up to the league headquarters in Memphis, Tennessee. So
Mhm.
every single member, no matter where it is on planet Earth, they're registered with the league at the corporate headquarters. Uh,
Right. But this doesn't limit just to cash. People can actually purchase utensils, give gifts, gift cards of let's say $300 or $100, $50 gift cards because you need the meat, you need the protein in order to make it happen. You need the sauce because you have a young lady there who specializes in sauce.
right.
So you got to think outside the box, but still go in line with what these young people are and JAMO is trying to do.
Yeah. Well, the next person like I'll be talking to about the pellet grill is to ask A.L. Thompson how much discount they can offer from the beginning, and then we can ask corporate Cayman and
To try and
community
do it.
Cayman to
Yeah.
help do the
Mhm.
other whatever percentage that remains, that this grill
Correct.
can be housed at Lighthouse School, and that they can get involved, and we can,
And that's prepping them for the international stage as well.
exactly, because we use pellet grills at World Championships.
Excellent, excellent. Well, this is your opportunity, JAMO, to share with us, get the information out. Again, I didn't do it full justice, but I tried all week by keeping the community on this podcast updated with everything that's happening with Santos. And when I saw the pictures last night in circulation with you at the Clifton Hunter High School, I'm like, hey, there has to be a connection here. And I remember the pictures that I saw. I thought it was only fitting for me to offer you this space, couple minutes again, to continue in our promise to highlight our young people, visions, succession planning moving forward. But again, just proving this is a platform and a space that you
Well,
guys have.
I want to thank all the sponsors this year: Rotary Central, Maples Group, A.L. Thompson, the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Um, it takes a real village to raise champions. If you really want to have people stand out, it takes us all. And I want to thank the parents for rallying around the dreams of their young people. Uh, each child has a different, unique gift that God put them on this earth to fulfill. And, and I applaud the parents for seeing the difference. Not all their children can want to do this, but for those that do, they do the running up and down. They drop them to and from the Ritz. They drop
Yeah.
them to and from the marches, all the practice sessions. Um, so I have to take my hats off to them. Thank you very much for being a part of your child's life, and for them to help them portray their best self. And they're making us very proud. They're competing on a global stage and they're holding their own. We get invited because the organization seeing us that we have the ability to keep the standard of the competition high. And I want to thank the chefs at the Ritz Carlton for preparing our young people. We've been part of um, challenges and regional competitions. There was one that we used to go to in Barbados called the Caribbean Junior Dueling Challenge, which COVID kind of killed off. So I had a conversation with Chef Peter Eady from Barbados, who's his vision and his idea of bringing the Caribbean together, having the young people compete, and then we try to promote contemporary Caribbean cuisine, because people come to the Caribbean and don't leave because they love the vibe, they love the food, they love this kind of culture that we have, and we see it vividly on display in Cayman. Like, we have people from all over the globe here, and they love what we have to offer.
Right.
So that kind of product we want to continue to enhance. So I asked him, "What about bringing it back? And what about having it in Cayman?" And he's like, "Well, if you want to go for it, go for it. But you can need about 150 to 200,000 US dollars to pull
Huh?
it off.
Say it again.
150 to 200,000 US dollars to do it. So we're gonna be working on a proposal
Yeah.
because it's supposed to be televised. Try
Uh-huh.
to either get it on Rise Up TV or CIG TV, or and so it's some place where people can see it from all over the world. Or if all else fail, we'll talk to Netflix and get it on there, because Melissa Cookston, who is the founder of the World Junior Barbecue League, has a Netflix series called Barbecue Showdown. It's on Netflix. The
And
barbecue.
you guys got the connect already, so let's see. I
Yes.
mean,
So
that's the power of networking.
yep. If all else fails, we'll go to Netflix way. But we have local channels.
Yes. Why not?
We'll try to see how we can best feed that first, and if it attracts Netflix and they want to get it from our local channel, That's up to
Mm-hmm.
them. Let's get
Mm-hmm.
our local people fully engaged as well.
Mm-hmm.
So our conversation with Shamila and Bruce has a channel, and then James Anglin has Wise Up TV, and
Okay.
see what can be done,
Mm-hmm.
and offer it locally first, and then if they don't have interest in it or can't contribute towards like paying for most of it, um, or can't find sponsors for most of it. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm confident that we can find 200,000 US dollars for an event that could change the lives of
So many.
maybe 40 youth in the Caribbean
Mm-hmm.
at the competition level, and with them being seen. Like Santos is just mingling around, waiting for his time to compete, and
Right.
he's already in discussions with CIA, which is Culinary Institute of America, New York campus. And Santos is just turned 14.
Mm.
So
So obviously
from
these are like what you would say are spotters like for
like
basketball players. These are spotters,
they
but
have
in the
down to
culinary industry.
that's it. Pick in from the top, and if they saying they have a world champion coming in that has a skill set of someone with 10 years experience in the field,
They see.
they say this person can add to what our institution offers.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen great things with the culinary program in the past. We've had a student that attended Le Cordon Bleu and
Mm-hmm.
graduated with distinctions, and that has not happened for the last 15 years before him, and
Mm-hmm.
has not happened since. And he
Mm-hmm.
graduated with distinctions 3 years ago. But we have set a standard. But
Mm-hmm.
Eric Francis was part of the culinary program for 3 years here
Mm-hmm.
before he went off to college. And
Okay.
he was rubbing shoulders with sous chefs and executive chefs from Ritz Carlton all those years. And
Mm-hmm.
so he have learned from the best, and how he carried that to college. And that college experience was a joy to him. And he
Mm-hmm.
left there with 2 degrees at distinctions.
Wow.
And he's a brilliant young man. And he's not in the field now, he's doing some HR work. But it is towards what his ultimate goal is. Is his own restaurant. He's doing his own hiring.
Makes
He
sense.
does his own stuff.
Totally. Yeah.
Just get
Mm-hmm.
the experience and get the money. So when you're ready, you can
You
do your
can't
own.
fool the man about talent, HR laws, and stuff because that's it. Looking at contracts, just
Get
like an employment
taxpayer
contract.
young Caymanians coming through to deal
Yeah.
with the other stuff. Those who are passionate about cooking and not really worried too much about the business side, you let them go in the kitchen and
Mm-hmm.
you manage the business part. And
Yeah.
my son is about to graduate from Le Roche, which is one of the top um, hospitality colleges on the planet. And I'm very proud of him. He graduates in January, God's willing.
Mm-hmm.
With his degree, he could actually manage the Ritz Carlton.
Wow. What would be your take when they says, okay, fine, you got a degree, but you still need experience?
Well,
That's what we're balancing.
yeah, he's got
But
some experience already. He has had work experience at managing a restaurant. He's managed the wharf here, so he has this kind of experience. But if he needs 1 or 2 years in Europe at a hotel, I'll encourage him to go and do it because he's still in
mm-hmm.
Europe. He's still in Spain.
Oh,
Go and do it right after graduation, and
correct.
then come back with 1 year of
Under
business
his belt.
experience
Mm-hmm.
under your belt, and
Mm-hmm.
then the you could pick where you want to be. What
But
do you
these
want
are the
to do?
things that we're talking about in immigration reform, where you have Caymanians who would want to come back home, but
Right.
juggling, I need experience. Yeah, I got your degree, da 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 da. I There's a reason why I framed that statement question all the way it is because and I like your idea. If he stays in Spain, let's say for a year, then the experience thing shouldn't be too much of a deterrent for him coming back home and wanting to contribute into society. And
Right.
this comes to a broader talk, which I respectfully, you are a civil servant, and having a database where we have all of our locals who are away. that we can say, well, okay, that one is coming home in a year, that one's coming home in 2 years. So
They
this
actually
is
do
what
that right now.
industry they're in. Oh, there we go.
They're
There we
actually
go.
doing it right now, and I think that's the reason behind Michael renaming it Cayman Employment, because that is what they're doing. They're mapping scholarships and expected end dates to opportunities,
There we
which
go.
which is what it needed to be happening
A long
30
time ago.
at least 30 years ago.
Mhm.
But you have to start sometime, and I guess now is the time,
Right.
and now is just as good a time as any.
Exactly. Well, yeah, Jamo, in your wrap up, you can just share with us what you'd want as a takeaway for our guests or our audience, sorry, and words of encouragement, not only to parents and guardians, but also for the young people who may think that this dream is not reachable because they're shackled because we're a small island jurisdiction here in the Cayman Islands. The opportunities are possible now.
Yeah, and if you have a dream to be in the food and industry or culinary pursuits, the National Youth Commission, the National Youth Culinary Program is for you. Um, it really don't matter if you Caymanian. A lot of people only want to deal with Caymanians, but if you are youth here and you Caymanian because you're a dependent or whatever, and and at age 18 you have sorted your own self out, I can deal with you once you cross my path. Here, God put me on this planet in the Cayman Islands to deal with whoever's in the Cayman Islands. So
Good for you.
that's how I look on it. And if we come asking for you, that's because John, we're not got the money to do it. Trust me, if I had the money, I wouldn't be asking nobody to do it. But if I come asking for help, please help, because I'm
It's
helping,
legit.
helping all of us. Helping all of us, not just the young person whose life is impacted the greatest. We all would feel the impact of positive young people going forward. We all would feel it. And even if it just joy of them being at the very best and making Cayman proud by being with all these podium finishes. I mean, we've had a series of them. James Monroe Jr. just came back from the World
Yeah.
Finals jet ski, third in the world. Like,
And I know he went through some serious challenges just trying to get funding, and he was in a slump. He was in a slump. He did go into a low to like see this not being a reality.
Minister Isaac for investing. They just came out and invested in the opportunity, and James did them all proud. Did us all proud. He was number 8 in the world before he left.
And now he's top 3.
Number 3.
Speaks
On his
volumes.
way to number 1.
There we go.
He know what it takes to be number 1. He narrowly missed it this time, so he know what not to do next time.
We got a caller, Jamo. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Sabrina Speaks. What's on your mind?
Good evening, Miss Sabrina, and good evening, Mr. Jamo. I don't know you, and I don't know if you know me, but I just want to tell you this. I'm a good supporter of ribs. Allow me some ribs, but it got to be pork. I don't like the beef.
Okay.
Because I'm a
But they're
Honduran.
number 2 in pork ribs in
The
the
only
world.
thing we don't eat from the pig is his squeal when they shoot him or they lick him with the maul or whatever, but everything else we eat. So I am a good supporter. But what I wanted to say too about Chef John, because his daughter family, to me, she from my cousin. But to me, Chef John barbecue not the same as when he was here. I used to go to him every evening that he would on the beach when he come up and thing, but I tried it. But to me, them people not got his techniques. I don't know who he tell when the wife that he had were there, it was pretty good. But now that the kids and things take it over, to me, it's not the same. I mean, I guess everybody got their opinion, but several times I see him down his spots and I won't stop by to see that not the same as Chef John. And then I stopped by the little mini mart too by my cousin, which is his granddaughter, but they don't have the technique. I don't know. They say cooks don't tell their secrets, so I don't know. Because that's what Mr. Neville used to tell us when we was talking about his cornbread. He said, cooks don't tell the secret. And I say, yes, sir, I agree with you, because sometimes then you tell your secret and then the other person become, when you're in business, especially the other ones, become better than you and knock you out of the cold, so out in the cold. So I agree with you 100%.
Thank you for sharing that. Well, definitely we're gonna support Jamo to get these young people
Yeah,
out to
already.
raise some money
It
and
gotta
have.
be.
Go
It
ahead.
gotta pork, and then I had get some from Foster the other day, but there wasn't Baba. Who they see puts pepper on ribs? Nobody do put. They had them hot. I don't know if it was Scotch bonnet or pepper sauce or whatever they had on it. I mean, if people want hot ribs, make people put it. But when, like I tell them, when you cooking for the public, you can kill the stuff with pepper, nor salt or whatever. Cause when you can put on, you can't take out. But I've never ever seen, like I say I'm the one, and I eat plenty of ribs, but I've never seen nobody put pepper on them yet.
There we
And they
go.
were hot. I couldn't even eat it.
That's why we're going to definitely support our young ones and go out there and buy those tickets when that opportunity comes, or just go out and support them wherever they are. We're going to definitely push this with Jamo.
Well, my son is a qualified chef.
To let you know, Sabrina. So
My son is a qualified chef. You know, you see that little thing you see that last night? He did with that guy that were on the other day, the one then. He did
Yeah.
coach the guy. Look at that. UCCI.
Yeah.
He's computer pro. He's chef. And then he knows some motor skills, but a little bit about mechanic, but he never finished that. But he went through the computer stuff and the the good and bad in him, and he tell you that something can't fix, you could believe him. I proved out, and he good on cooking, but that lazy now, he don't hardly cook to me no more. The best steaks I ever eat in my life, he made me when I was 51. My daughter could buy something with some restaurant that don't come on a bit, and they did what, and he got this stuff, and I never eat asparagus in my life, cause I didn't think I would have liked them. And they got this thing, they had it up in the fridge, and he would tell me, Mommy, you're not supposed to look in that, you're not supposed to peek in that till your birthday. And I said, what is doing her cook up now, my dear, and he cooked that too. I nearly eat my finger, and I love asparagus, so he had that like burnt or brown or something.
Charred.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Grilled. There we go. Thank you so much. And for the record, Jamo, I have to share this publicly. I went to Shelma's last night and I got me my batch of sour salt popsicle.
Okay.
They were
And
good.
listen,
They were
Sabrina,
good.
I know it's not a topic, but I saw them put it on Sandra. But you see how bushy up in here is, right? You see the bush almost, well, it's almost net, but you see how the bush coming out almost to the road, especially when you're walking. And NRA, tractor used to come out and have cotton. But for the longest, I haven't seen them up in here, and they got all the road out New Lands up to this evening when we were going out, the blower out there, and I don't know why they don't come up anymore, and this is not a private road. When we first moved up in here, that's our thought, because you see all this bush in front of all that is property, all that owned by my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law. But this other subdivision going down in there, and this not private. We used to say it was private, but not private anymore, because we used to call it a family circle. But they used to come and cut. Now they're not coming cutting no more.
And what's the name of the road? Because you turn into the big gate and you just continue going straight.
Farrell Road.
Okay.
Farrell, Farrell Road. They know where it is because of man. And it's up to you see where I got a white vehicle down there. He used to even come down there, fold up, then cut down there to me. But it's been up in months and I see them down in here. I don't know why they don't come no more. And it goes in the other road. And like I said, this is not a public road no more. It is. It's not private.
It's public.
Well, I was saying, not private, it's public. So I don't know why they do come down anymore. So I was saying, I find about from NRA listening. They need to come cut bush nailer out in the road.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll definitely, it's out here, and I will pop an email over. But thank you for that. And again, thank you for the popsicles. They were delicious.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. I want to thank you for your time. We will get at least a flyer to you whenever we're doing any sales. So you can look for us, please.
I'll definitely make sure Connie gets her flyer. And then I'll go down there and purchase in Shelma once their pork ribs.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we're doing. The ribs, we do whatever we practice for world. So every opportunity we get, we can do it. So we do beef brisket, pork ribs, pork butt, and chicken thighs at any of our
whatever you're going to do for the practice.
Yeah. And we'll
well, maybe people like Connie and Shelma can be samplers, taste testers.
When we
judges.
Have matches, we have a match at Ag Show. We have our national championship is at A.L. Thompson's the weekend before Easter. And then we have the Bob Zappa Costa Classic. Normally is there's the Saturday as school ends.
Mm-hmm.
This year it didn't work out because a lot of students were ill. So we had the Bob Zappa Costa Classic on the 13th of September, right
Mm-hmm.
before we went to Worlds. And that was actually won by Luan and his team. And I
Here,
presented the trophy to him last night at his graduation.
here, Connie. But if it no pork belly.
Port Belly, we do that as chicharron.
Ay,
We-
crack.
you know, he turned that into chicharron. So if you want chicharron, we can get it.
Yeah.
Want barbecue pork belly, we could do it. But I would need a lot of the meat section.
Mm-hmm.
It is very fatty. So I don't know. We'll do it. We'll do it if you want pork belly barbecue. We'll have
Mm-hmm.
I have
Yeah.
fight. I have to fight my mother-in-law for it because she turns that into chicharron.
There we go, like Della in the Brack. Oh God, yes, I can get some now. But thank you so much, Jamo. It has been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure hosting you here. Anything with our youth, like I said, just reach out, and I'm more than happy to help to get it out there.
A financial literacy program that the Youth Services Unit and the National Youth
Hold
Commission.
on, there's Shelma again. Hold on. Yes, Miss Shelma. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. You're live.
Yeah, I'm the teacher. I'll sponsor the pork belly too because I was disappointed today because I was going to eat at college and I was too late. I should have stopped before I went down. And when I went back, all they had was the meat and they had all the cassava, and I wanted fried cassava because I like the chicharron, what you call it. So maybe different soup for different folks.
All
If
right.
you know pork, you'll have the beef for horse and cheese, the cow, and the hog, and
No,
I'm Peppa Pig, so each for his own. Pork for me, beef for her, and then you still support. Have two supporters.
No, Miss Shelma. Connie was asking if there was no pork belly, not that she
I
didn't
thought
want
you
pork.
know pork belly.
No, she wanted. She wanted.
I'm Honduran, and I'm afraid the only thing we don't eat is a squeal. I eat the head, I eat the foot. But we do, I used to eat the cow gut too, and I do like the mouth.
Oh,
And I eat pig foot, I eat cow foot, I eat the tail. See, one little joke. My father was raising a pig, and I thought that the tail was loan meat. I didn't know it had bone. So I said, when he killed that tail for me, so everybody was grabbing, and my dad said, that's for Shelma. She'll kill me. And when I went about, everybody wanted now holding it. When I up like that on the tail, broke my teeth, cause I didn't know it had bone.
there you go.
Thought it was loan meat. His tail was loan meat, and it got bone in it, and it break my teeth.
Aye. Oh, wow. There we go. But thank you so much. Fun. This is
Okay, bye.
all right, my love. This is
Good evening.
all right, cool. Jabo, this is why I like with Friday, this is a lighter flair because, oh gosh, we have some hard hitting topics during the week. And even though there's heat in the parliament, I just felt it was good for us to just have a lighter moment, even though I'll get into some it's how I'm going to deliver it. It's not so hard hitting. But before we lose your trend of thought, please go ahead.
One of our top culinary students is actually feeds Parliament now, Brittany Budden.
Yes, Brittany. Yes.
And it's great to see that these young culinary students who have been in the program from 2012 and beyond is now coming back and finding their place.
Right.
And Brittany had supposed to be coaching Santos, and I said, Brittany, I can't take you away from what you're doing and session, and I can't have them be fed by anybody else. This job, so Santos is being coached by a chef from CIA, Culinary Institute of America, New York, and he's already telling Santos, here is the package that you can have.
Wow.
And it gives me goosebumps just talking about the way God is moving. All of what is happening.
Right.
I pray and ask God to guide me every single day.
He got you.
To God be the glory. Everything just falls into place. And I never thought the chef that Santos would get would be a teacher. One of the top culinary students, culinary institutes in America.
And look at there.
That is where he's at. And I'm confident he could do great. um, and he could do us proud tomorrow.
Yes. Well, we're definitely going to keep the spotlight on him, and we're going to update.
Cool. Yeah. All throughout the week, LaShawn is keeping us updated. I said anything of significance, post it on Instagram so people that follow.
Yeah, I can share as well.
Okay. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. Take care.
Have a
All
great.
the best. Keep safe. Be
All right.
careful on the roads if you're going out there.
Yeah, I gotta go north. I gotta visit youth groups tonight.
Okay, there you go. Be safe on the roads. God
Cool.
bless. Take care. Well, there you have it again. This is Connie, you something else, But yeah, I'll definitely keep it real and share it with you as we continue to elevate our youths and give them the showcase here. Definitely. Now let's just move on. I'm going to put a picture up here. There you go. You will see this photo, and congratulations to the sitting administration. And we'll probably just do this little discussion because I'm just doing high level. It's Friday. Why just keep it light? Let's talk about what just happened in Cayman politics. They're in Parliament. I'm not watching it live, so I don't even know if they're done. But what we see here in this image is the official photo taken after the National Coalition for Caymanians, the acronym you'll hear using a lot is the NCFC. They signed a formal governance agreement yesterday, and it's being called historic. What it actually is the first time a coalition government in Cayman has put pen to paper to outline how they'll work together for us, right? But what does this really mean for us, for you and me? Is this a sign of true unity, or is it just a performance to calm waters while the storms brew behind the scenes? Oh, shut up. Just give them a chance. At least they did history. These are all the questions, right? Let's look into it a little bit more. And in case you missed it, so this is the official picture, and I congratulate them for doing this because you realize what was happening or what had happened in the other day with the little move that was made, and a lot of speculations was out there, right? So in layman's terms, as I said here in a previous episode, there are three political groups that make up our government, our current government. What we see here is three political groups that make up our current government. And what they did, that signing a written agreement, what they're actually saying is how they will work together to make decisions and handle disagreements. Now, that also includes shared values, let's say decision-making processes, conflict resolution as well, and mitigation steps that could be taken into consideration. And it is a ministerial code of conduct for this composition as a coalition government, and a promise to the people to create a parliamentary code of conduct. And it's pretty, in layman's terms, what it is, it's like a prenup for politics, meant to keep everyone honest and on the same page. So the key question then, does loyalty mean sticking together no matter what, or holding each other accountable when it most matters? But let's be real. Loyalty in politics is often conditional. It's not always about values. And we can see right now in the single member constituency style, it's about survival, strategy, and staying in power. Some even want to say it's possibly hungry for power. But we've seen today quite nicely in Parliament, well, nice dress with matching ties and coordinated colors. That's branding, not necessarily bonding. When you see a signing of a document, it doesn't erase ambition, ego, or internal tension. But it can be a step toward transparency, accountability, if it's followed. So you remember what I said just now? The key question then is, does loyalty mean sticking together no matter what, or holding each other accountable when it most matters, right? So you may look at Well, the mischief may still continue. Will this agreement stop political mischief? Let's not pretend that a signature stops that or ambition. Agreements like this are actually used as tools, not as guarantees. But the key takeaway is that we cannot say this administration is not demonstrating publicly their willingness. They've made a step in the right direction, and as they quoted it, historic. Now, they can help prevent public fallouts, what this agreement is. It can help prevent public fallouts, but they don't eliminate private power struggles because each person is still their own individual. And what really matters is whether or not the public sees consistent, principled leadership and not just photo ops. So at the end of the day, as my grandmother would always say, only time will tell. This does not mean that you're spewing anything negative, that you're wishing for anything bad. No, we acknowledge here in this space and we applaud them for making this public gesture. But what really matters is whether the public sees consistent, principled leadership. That's what really matters. So what then would you look for then in order to identify that is some of the questions outside of outfits, matching ties. What does that mean? You look for consistency. Are decisions aligned with agreement values? Because you know how it is at the end of the day, talk all the time, right? So you're looking at those consistencies. Are decisions aligned with the agreement's values? You pay attention to dissent. Yes, you pay close attention to that, where healthy disagreement isn't disloyal. It's more from a democratic stance, right? And then what you're also looking for is transparency, because agreements are only as strong as the public's ability to hold leaders to them. So whether or not we would have oversight of whatever is in this, we don't know. That's for you to ask your representative, if your representative is a part of this image that I have up here. And whether or not it will be a public document, we don't know. It's something we could possibly ask. So please don't get me wrong. What I've covered here today to highlight to you is actually applauding them. This isn't about cynicism. It's about being clear. It's about clarity. And the NCFC, this government's agreement, might be a step forward, but loyalty in politics isn't really proven by signatures or speeches. It's proven by service, sacrifice, and standing up for what's right, even when it may come across as inconvenient. So congratulations to them. We can only pray for all the best of everything that's happening. And as we continue to wind down the debate, or if it's not already finished, of the strategic policy statement, which is the roadmap to what they want to do for us, the people, for the next 3 years, that is heavily debated by the opposition today, and both sides will have a chance to respond. And that is leading in then to how we're going to pay for that roadmap that is being debated today. Now, let's cast our eyes to Caribbean tensions and our very own sovereignty. And you're going to hear a lot more about the word sovereignty, where we stand and all that sort of stuff. So I felt the need today, because I've noticed the leader of the progressives movement and the leader of the opposition, Joey Hugh, interesting, but he brought up the importance of being vigilant with what's happening in our region, in the Caribbean region, and making sure that we're awake with what's going on. And yes, if it's one person and one podcast, one show that has been screaming national security, the making sure that we are proactive, keeping alert as to what's happening, has been here on Sabrina Speaks. And even before that, as an individual, I was blowing, hey, the importance of national security, the importance of making sure that we are proactive and making sure that our borders, that we know are porous, have the necessary skill set, equipment, radar detection. Let's fund the Coast Guard. Let's give our RCIPs. Let's give all of those persons the funding that they need in order so that we know we're okay. But with what broke this week yet again in the Caribbean, long held statuses, we're known as a zone of peace, is now obviously under threat because we're hearing it now louder and louder. Trinidad, Guyana, Venezuela, we're hearing Jamaicans that are crying out that people who sustain themselves and make an income from fishing, they are terrified. They are feeling that even though, especially in Jamaica, that the head of CARICOM is their prime minister, why is there so much silence? Let's put that aside for a little bit. When we look at the strong U.S. military presence in our region, you may say, well, that's Eastern Caribbean, none of my business. The United States military, for those who are not really up to speed, has launched yet another strike in international waters in the Caribbean. This time near Venezuela's coastline, making it the 6th known operation in recent months. Now, at the end of the day, this was the first time in this report that there were survivors. It is stated. We're still getting the information. And this would be survivors were reported for the first time. But at least 27 lives have already been lost in previous missions. We have seen where there's been a message from the Pentagon, not a message, actually, total silence from the Pentagon. But what we're seeing, is regional leaders in our Caribbean region and diplomats are just screaming. They are sounding the alarm for concern. So one may say, what does this mean for us here in the Cayman Islands? The mere fact that it is in the Hansards of Parliament being cited by the leader of the opposition, it says at least they're saying something about it. Okay? And it's now in the Hansards. We are a British Overseas Territory jurisdiction. We're not an independent nation. And because of that, we do not control our own foreign policy. And I could break this all down for you if you will bear with me. We do not have a standing military. And yet, here we are sitting in the middle of a region now bracing for pretty much a fallout. It is inevitable. I'm hoping that I could be proven wrong, and that would be a blessing on all of us. We are seeing where we're bracing for a fallout with military, diplomatic, and humanitarian. Remember, we spoke here about what should we get a sudden influx of people fleeing their countries? Are we prepared? Where do you stand on that? But you heard the word sovereignty used a lot of times. What does this word sovereignty mean to us here in Cayman? And it's really about who has the final say. When we talk about in our context, who has the final say? It's like asking who's really in charge of our house. In our case, the Cayman Islands, we are like tenants in a home owned by the United Kingdom. We may manage the day-to-day cleaning, decorating, hosting events. But when it comes to big decisions like foreign policy, defense, or international law, we have to check with the landlord. And in this case, our landlord is the United Kingdom. So sovereignty means having the full power to make your own decisions as a country without needing permission from anyone else. Okay? In the Cayman context, because we are a British overseas territory, that means we have our own parliament, we have our own premier and our local laws, but we do not control our military, we do not control our defense, we do not control our international relations, we do not control our citizenship rules, we do not control our foreign aid or treaties. These are 100% handled by the United Kingdom. So again, Cayman is a BOTC, which means we govern ourselves in many ways like education, healthcare, and local laws, but we do not control things like foreign policy. And there's a reason I'm repeating these things: defense or international relationships. That, my friends, is handled by the United Kingdom. So while we have our local governments and parliament, we are not fully independent. We share our sovereignty with Britain. So you may say, but why the heck does that matter now with all of this rising tensions in the Caribbean, like the US military being so active near Venezuela? Cayman is caught in a delicate position. You may be wondering, what do we do? Do we just sit on our hands? Cayman's caught in that very delicate position because, as I said earlier, we don't have a military to protect ourselves. We can't speak independently on the global stage, and we rely on the UK to represent us in matters of war, peace, and diplomacy. This is where Her Excellency the Governor comes in. So pretty much if conflict breaks out in the region, Cayman's response will be shaped by London, not by Parliament, not by elected members, arms, not in Georgetown. Because when tensions rise in the region, the military action, diplomatic pressure, we just can't speak as a fully independent country because we're not. And that affects how we can respond to conflict. That also affects whether or not we can even stand internationally. And that affects what protections we have if things escalate. So whether or not there are talks going on behind the scenes with the governor in consultation with the premier, which usually that is the case, and this is where the National Security Council comes in, whether or not that is happening, we'll leave it to them. But when you hear it being cited on the floor of Parliament, you can't say that this is the first time that we have mentioned it here on this space. So what should we as Caymanians know? When you hear these terms being used, and what it means for where we stand should things go up. Sovereignty isn't just politics. It's really protection, identity, and also power. And we know that Parliament right now is debating a strategic policy statement. We must ask, are we really prepared for a regional fallout? Should it becomes a reality? Do we have a voice in shaping our future when it comes to that? And really, what does national security mean when we're not a nation? Yeah. So we can only hope and pray for the best, to be honest, because of us not being an independent country. I have said it over here, and I've broken it down as fine and minute details as I could. Because of us just being a BOTC, that means really, and if you notice, I'm bringing this in different forms, it is a matter of importance. When things really heat up in the Caribbean, like military action, diplomatic pressure, we don't, personally, the Cayman Islands, we don't get to decide our own response. Cayman can't send troops. We can't issue statements or even negotiate peace on our own. No, we are 100% reliant on the United Kingdom to decide how we respond, whether there's true diplomacy, defense, or silence. Yeah, because a response in this case could be silence. Let that sink in for a little. It's like, here's another analogy, like being in a shared house. If a fight breaks out next door, we can't call the shots. We have to wait for the landlord to act. That's the predicament that we're in. And whether or not we actually can take a stand internationally, Cayman doesn't have a seat at the United Nations. Cayman, we can't vote on global issues. We can't speak independently at international summits either. Even if our people feel strongly about a conflict or injustice, our voices, the voices of the people, is actually filtered through the United Kingdom foreign policy. So we can get here, we can rant, we can rave all we want. Our voice is filtered through the UK. So if we see a case where the Caribbean is calling for unity or resistance, Cayman's ability to join in that chorus is limited. Is limited. Understanding how much persons we have make up our society. Many of them are from a jurisdiction that's only 45 minutes away, but they are ours. They are Caymanians. We still have to abide by the rules in our ability to join in that chorus, even though what's happening right next door is very limited. And as I said, we do not have a military. The regiment is there, yes, but we realize that. And I'm going to definitely do an episode on that law for you to break that down. And I felt that it's a long time I wanted to have this conversation. You may recall, for all of you who constantly, my true followers and followers, whether or not you're in live or you join us afterwards, you would hear from previous episodes. I was saying, I want to do something on national security. I want to do something on just breaking that down, where we stand, what resources we have, our very own ability to sustain ourselves, because proximity matters. And I'm going to be doing an episode as we continue to see what is obviously unfolding in our jurisdiction. The key thing to remember is that we do not have a military. We don't control our borders. If conflict spreads or refugees even arrive here in the Cayman Islands, we saw what the influx of Cubans have done. This is not that type. Should refugees arrive because they're fleeing from their country because of possible war, we depend on the United Kingdom to decide who gets in. We depend on the United Kingdom to provide defense and humanitarian aid. We also depend on them to coordinate with our nations. But the United Kingdom priorities may not always match ours. We know that the Governor, Her Excellency, and the Premier had a interview that pretty much reassured the relationship and the great ties that, their promise here to the relationships between the Cayman Islands and the UK. And we had a representative from the United Kingdom here about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. But at the end of the day, not all of their priorities, you seeing where the big talks about AI and the digital ID and all that sort of stuff is actually making its way here. And we see how strongly we have those who are for and who are against it. But at the end of the day, even when we talk about sovereignty, when we talk about where our boundaries and our parameters are here in the Cayman Islands, because we are a British Overseas Territories jurisdiction, not all the time their priorities, their agenda may match ours. And this is why it's important to have a good relationship with the different ministers in the United Kingdom. Invite them here so that they can hear exactly the tone, the pulse of the true Caymanian people. Because remember, in this big pond where the UK is concerned as a British overseas jurisdiction, sometimes our voices are very faint because of the sheer size. And we should actually applaud when certain ministers or representatives from the US government, UK government visit us here. It's more than just talk. It's our ability to give them a firsthand experience so that when they actually are making decisions, that they would have a sense of, from a visual standpoint, from actually coming and meeting and seeing exactly what we have to offer, looking at our infrastructure. Of course, there are higher level meetings that are being had. And then they're showcased with, of course, security. Security is always on the top of their talks. And but on a bigger picture, the whole idea, because putting it in a report, us going over there and speaking for what we do and what our people want is one thing. When they actually visit here and they can see it firsthand, and we can have the regiment on full display if they want, they can go and see our police, they can see our prison, and they can see our fire service, they can see our 911 communications, that they can see the actual infrastructure. And then you look at other key infrastructures and pillars that we have here, such as our healthcare system. You see the infrastructure of our roads, the accessibility to even possibly receiving supplies. In cases like this, you even look at the infrastructure as it pertains to our airports and our cargo facility as well, because you never know with what's happening in the jurisdiction or in the region, sorry, not jurisdiction. All of these things come a top priority, and it is key that we know exactly what we're up against should things go south quick. And that is why it is important in another episode of Sabrina Speaks that I had Mr. Woody Foster on at that time. The tensions wasn't this tight. And based on certain logistics, I mean, we have a tropical system that could be making into our area as early as this weekend, into early next week. We're going to keep our fingers crossed that we've been having, knock on wood, a very good, oops, there we go. I hit that when error. We had a very good hurricane season so far, but these are all the things that could impact our sustainability, our ability to import goods, services. They're all key pillars. And if you think that that doesn't weigh on the topic of national security, you have another guest coming. And we're at a critical point in our time with geopolitical tensions that we're seeing happening right around us. If you recall what I said earlier on, silence could be a response as well. The purpose of me having this discussion is because it is right here in our face. It is all over the headlines. And the leader of the opposition mentioned it on the floor of Parliament a few hours ago, which says somebody is listening, that it's now recorded in the Hansards. Somebody else now in a very official capacity now is sounding the bell as well. That's your voice in Parliament. That is your voice in Parliament when they actually speak like that. So the opposition has done it. Now it's for the government to look at it even more closer. And if they were looking at it even closely, but they didn't or not saying anything to us, maybe this may nudge them a little bit. Who's going to be that messenger? I don't know. But going back to the priorities, some of the decisions made, because we're one little thing over here, in the grander scheme of things, the UK's priority may not necessarily match ours. But what matters is proximity. Or proximity to the United States, or proximity to Cuba, or proximity to Trinidad, Jamaica, all of them. That's really what matters. And that's something that we need to keep abreast of. And that's why regional instability puts Cayman in a vulnerable spot. I don't care how you want to put lipstick on that pig. And this is why conversations like these is important. Very important. Because we should be concerned. We're debating the SPS for the next 3 years. But are we building resilience? Are we preparing for a regional fallout? Or are we still in this tunnel vision of doing certain things? I know that national security and funding for the police and that sort of stuff was there, but now, for the next 3 years, is it time for us to really look at this topic totally different? Is resilience built in there? Should there be a fallout? Are we protecting our people even without full sovereignty? Yeah, these are things to be considered, because when the Caribbean shakes, and in this case, their tremors, Cayman will feel it. That goes without denial. That's a fact. And while we may not be independent, we must be informed, prepared, and vocal. So, as our parliament is debating this SPS, are we ready for instability? Do we have contingency plans for refugees, flows, trade disruptions, or even diplomatic pressures? And what does our national security look like when sovereignty is pretty much shared? In this case, shared with the UK, because we're not an independent voice. When you have people like the Venezuelan ambassador, and this is in the public's domain, is actually Dominica has urged Caribbean nations to speak out against a U.S. military buildup. And then you have Trinidadian activists warning of imperialist overreach and regional submissions. And the United Nations has formally called for restraint. We here in the Cayman Islands, to be honest, can't really afford to be silent. And when I say the Cayman Islands, I'm speaking also, at least if the governor speaks to the people, someone. Okay. We may not have a vote in global affairs, but we have a voice. And to be honest, that voice must also be used to demand transparency, preparedness, and protection, and not just for our borders, but for every one of us as human beings, our people. This is not just foreign policy. This is national security that I'm talking about. This is not just politics. It's our future that I'm talking about. Our dignity, our way of life. So are we watching history unfold, or are we shaping it? Yeah. There we have it. Miss Rose, good evening to you, my dear. CE Banks, good evening. Thank you for joining us, even though you're a little late there. Good evening. I'm late again for class. I will have to, you'll have to expel me for being late. Thank God it's Friday. God's willing, Monday soon comes, Sabrina. Have a blessed weekend. And oh, that's so sweet of you, Miss Rose. Stay safe. We love you. I love you all too, very, very much. But yeah, and I'm really hoping that we can not have to even have these conversations, to be honest, and that we could continue to live in a peaceful community and be happy. But you know what? The reality is we can't fall asleep at the wheel. We can't. So yeah, that's about it for me. 9368255 if you want to weigh in on anything here. And for the sake of those persons just joining us, just let me give a quick recap before I exit stage left here for today. And thank you for sharing this with me. Again, for the older persons month, these activities. And for this, tomorrow night is the 18th. Yes. That is the big gala at the Kempton Seafire Hotel. right here in Grand Cayman, and over in the Brac at the Aston Rutty Civic Center in Cayman Brac, there's going to be the Senior Talent Show. And on the 20th, we're going to have the Seniors Talent Show at the Harkwell Theatre, and that's registration only. So go down there and support them. And the 21st is the Wisdom and Wellness Session at the Public Library. That's in Cayman Brac. So Cayman Brac on the 18th, that is at Aston Rutty Center for the talent show. And also in Cayman Brac on the 21st, that's Wisdom and Wellness Session. That goes on from 10:30 until 12. So 10:30 in the morning until 12 noon. And also in Grand Cayman on the 22nd, they'll be on Radio Cayman for a senior segment on Radio Cayman. It's 89.9 FM. And on the 22nd in Grand Cayman, registration only at Lion Center, there's going to be karaoke. Karaoke. So it's all there. I'll post it on my page. Yep, for you to see, so that you can go out and attend these events for yourself. And remember, 9 to 12, if you want to register for Walk for the Cure, is tomorrow from 9 until 12, main branch of CIBC. And then the big health fair is over at East End United Church from 9 until 12 noon tomorrow. Thanks to Lions Club of Tropical Gardens. This is East End Health Fair. So lots going on, lots to do. And guess what? You heard it. Rain or shine. The deals are blazing still at International Lighting. So I want you all to head over to 194 Eds Plaza, North Sound Road, where they're open there from 9 until 6. And trust me, the savings are too big to miss. And remember, you spend $50 or more and you're in to win a round trip Cayman Airways ticket to any destination that they fly. You heard me right. So grab your umbrella, grab your crew, and go and catch up on these deals down there that only Edward can deliver. So I'll catch you on the flip side. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with me. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for calling. Oh, good old Shelley. Yes, I appreciate it very much. Very, very much. I appreciate it. It has been a pleasure bringing you another episode of Sabrina Speaks as we ease into the weekend. And yes, Cayman, it's Friday. The roads are wet. So let's be safe out there. Drive with care, caution, and consideration for everyone who shares our roads. I seen a video last night. Oh my God. With this truck that overtook a car right in the front of Casanova. How stupid. Yeah, how stupid. Oh my goodness, that just really, really brought me to a different level. And, just God's sake, use some common sense, man. And to the incredible men and women out there, you know what? Of our uniformed services, rain or shine, you show up, protect and serve from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your service. Even those who are retired, because this is the month of remembrance. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Yeah. So let me leave you with this. No matter the weather, no matter the weight you carry, there is always light ahead. Let kindness lead, let hope rise, and let your weekend be filled with purpose, peace, and possibility. Until next time, stay safe. Stay grounded, and please never dilute your worth, and keep speaking your truth. Mwah. Until Monday, God bless.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.